Welcome to the Atlas CWI exam preparation overview. This short video is going to take you through the Part A Fundamentals course tour and introduce you to our narrated lessons, audio flashcards, practice quizzes, and simulated exams. And just like all of our online courses at Atlas API Training, all of our materials are available anywhere, anytime on any of your supported devices. This is our 4-point exam preparation approach. We'll begin with narrated lessons. These will introduce you to the topics and the information that you'll need to be familiar with and need to know in order to pass your CWI exam. Our Part A lessons include 9 courses, and each one lasts about 45 minutes each. Then we have audio flashcards, where we present a question, and then we reveal the answer to you at the bottom of the screen. These are also narrated, and you can listen to them hands-free on your device's audio, or if you can't listen to the audio, you can always just manually scroll through the questions and the answers. We have practice quizzes spread throughout our lessons, typically mid-lesson at the end of the lesson. This is usually about 150 questions on each quiz. They're not scored and they aren't timed, and you can take them often as you like. With quizzes, you get immediate feedback when you submit your answer to find out whether you got it correct or incorrect. Then you got simulated exams. Just like the CWI exam, they're timed at 120 minutes each. They've got 150 questions, and unlike practice quizzes, you do not get immediate feedback when you submit your answer. You only get your results at the end of the exam to let you know how well you did. So with that, let's go ahead and start looking at our narrated lessons. This is a typical animation presentation we have throughout our lessons. This particular one is showing the oxyacetylene welding environment, and our narrated lesson would go through each point and discuss all the different elements so that you can understand this particular presentation. Then we have something more textual with some graphics. This is showing you the elements of the welding symbols. Now I'm playing through this particular slide very quickly, but the actual narrated lesson will go bullet point by bullet point and explain to you all the different elements so that you fully understand what all the elements of the welding symbol means. Then again, here's another simple animated graphic that we use to show the definitions for kerf and drag. And then we've got the more traditional text-based presentations. Here we're showing the advantages and limitations of the SMAW welding process. So this is kind of gives you a sample and an idea of what our narrated lessons look like. Obviously, you can't hear the narration because I'd be speaking over it. But I hope that this gives you a feel for what the presentations look like. Now we'll go ahead and look at the audio flashcards. As I said earlier, we have about 180 minutes of narrated flashcards for the Part A Fundamentals. It includes about 250 Q&A, and it's organized into 6 groups so you can listen to them 30 minutes at a time. There is our first flashcard. Information appearing above the reference line refers to the blank. The other side. Next card, please. Fuel gas cylinder valves should be open just enough to provide adequate gas flow. A back weld is applied blank. It's applied after the front side is welded. Visual inspection can be accomplished before, during, and after welding. True or false? That would be true. The set of codes is always considered blank, and this also applies to the word shall anytime you see it in a question or in the code. So a set of codes is always considered mandatory, just as the word shall means mandatory. Oxygen is a flammable gas, true or false? That would be false. While it's not flammable, it is definitely a catalyst. You can't have fire without oxygen. Now we're going to take a look at some samples of our practice quiz questions. Each quiz, as I said earlier, contains 150 questions. The quiz questions are randomly selected from our extensive quiz bank. So you can take quizzes as often as you need, and you can take several quizzes and never repeat the same question. So with that, here's some examples of our practice quiz questions. Which of the following is not considered to be a welding process? SMAW, GTAW, brazing, or SCAW? We'll select FCAW. Now that is the incorrect answer, and as I said earlier, when you take a quiz, you'll get the immediate feedback, so we know that the answer is brazing. The width of a cut is referred to as the kerf, dross, gap, or none of the above. Well, we saw that video earlier, and this is an example of how we use our quizzes to reinforce the content within our lessons. So as we saw the animation earlier, that would be kerf. Metals can dissolve into each other when both are in a solid form. Is that true or false? Well, while I picked false, I actually happen to know the answer is true because I've seen the lessons. A welding inspector may be required to be familiar with drawings, contract documents, specifications, or all the above. The welding inspector needs to be familiar with all the above. So we have both timed exams and practice quizzes. So here's just the difference between the two of them. The timed quizzes are timed at 120 minutes to simulate the CWI exam length. Quizzes have no time on them. The exam, you don't get any feedback at the end of each question. However, on quizzes, you do get the immediate feedback. In both timed exams and practice quizzes, both contain 150 questions. This is all for Part A. Remember to take the exams and quizzes as often as you like. And since we randomly select the questions when we give you the exam or the quiz, the chances of you repeating a question is very low. Questions are typical of what you'll find on the real exam. So you become very familiar with what you'll be seeing on the exam if you go through all of our materials. And while I wanted to say this, the 2015 research report says it for me, that the most effective studying techniques are practice testing. So utilize our quizzes and our exams and go over them as often as you need to. And remember, even if you repeat the exams and the quizzes, you may not encounter the same question more than once. So to recap our CWI study materials, we've got 4 basic sets of materials: narrated lessons, audio flashcards, practice quizzes, and simulated exams. So how do you get these? Well, if you purchase the complete CWI course that has all parts A, B, and C, you'll see here you get all 4 sets of the materials. Now, if you want to, you can just purchase an individual CWI course. That is, you can get the part A, B, or C, and if you do that, then you'll get the related lessons, flashcards, quizzes, and exams for that particular course that you're purchasing. And then if you just want a practice package, that is, you don't need the complete set of narrated lessons, but you want to have the flashcards, quizzes, and exams, you can then purchase the practice package. And then you can select that for whichever part you want, A, B, or C, or all 3. And here's just a brief list of the other online courses that we present. While we have CWI parts A, B, and C, we also have the 9-year renewal for the CWI. And then also on the API, we've got the 510, 570, 580, 653, and 1169. These all have narrated courses, flashcards, quizzes, and exams. On behalf of Hannah McLeod, I want to thank you for watching this video. And please contact us for any of your CWI or API training needs, whether it's online or on site. You can visit us at atlasapиtraining.com. Thank you.